If you're a woman over 35 trying to lose weight, you've probably heard the same advice over and over again. Do more cardio, eat less, try another diet. But if that advice actually worked long term, women wouldn't be struggling with stubborn belly fat the way that they are. But about 90% of weight loss advice for women over 35 is absolute garbage. Not because experts are trying to mislead you, but because most of the advice was never designed for women in this stage of life in the first place. After losing 49 pounds myself and coaching women in their 30s, 40s, all the way up to 70s and 80s, I've noticed a distinct pattern. The women who finally lose weight and keep it off stop following generic weight loss advice. They start following strategies that were designed for their physiology, their lifestyle, and their stress level. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 5 pieces of weight loss advice women over 35 hear constantly that actually backfire. And the 4th one is the reason so many women feel like their metabolism suddenly stopped working. And if you want help applying the system that actually works for women over 35, you can join my free flat belly challenge in the description below. Myth number 1. Just do more cardio. This is probably the most common advice women hear when they want to lose weight. Just move more, burn more calories, do more cardio. And yes, movement absolutely matters, but relying on only cardio for fat loss is a super frustrating cycle because cardio alone doesn't address one of the biggest factors in long-term fat loss: muscle preservation. After 35, the body naturally begins losing muscle mass each decade. And muscle is one of the most powerful drivers of metabolism. When weight loss relies only on cardio without supporting muscle, you can lose weight on the scale while your body becomes less metabolically efficient. This is why so many women say, I'm working out more than ever, but my body is just not changing. I had a client who was doing cardio almost every day. Spin classes, long runs, high intensity workouts. She was exhausted, but her waistline was not changing. When we looked at her routine, it became so obvious. She was burning calories, but not building or maintaining muscle. So we changed her focus towards strength training and balanced movement in my Focus 20 system. Within a few weeks, her energy improved so much. And over the next couple of months, her body composition started changing insanely fast. Because the goal isn't just to burn calories, it's to build a body that burns them more efficiently for you. Now, the next piece of advice women hear constantly might sound logical on the surface, but it's one of the biggest reasons women struggle with cravings. Myth number 2, eat as little as possible. Many women think weight loss requires constantly eating less, smaller portions, skipping meals, trying to be good. But when calorie restrictions becomes too aggressive, the body doesn't interpret it as discipline. It honestly interprets it as scarcity. And scarcity triggers survival responses. Hunger hormones increase, energy drops, cravings intensify, which is why extreme dieting often leads to periods of overeating later. Another one of my clients told me something that stuck with me. I feel like I'm barely eating, Shar, but I can't lose weight. After I started working with her and we actually looked at her meals, it made sense. Very small breakfasts, light lunches. Then by the evening, she was starving and nighttime cravings were almost impossible to control. Instead of cutting down her calories further, we rebuilt her meals to be more balanced and satisfying. Within weeks, she noticed more stable energy, less intense craving, and fat loss that actually stuck. Because sustainable fat loss doesn't come from starving your body. It comes from fueling it properly. Now, the 3rd piece of advice women hear is one that seems harmless, but it secretly stalls results. Myth number 3, just follow whatever diet is trending. Every year there's a new diet trend: keto, low carb, intermittent fasting, detox plan. And so many of these approaches can work temporarily. But the problem is when people jump from one diet to the next without building consistent habit. This creates something called diet cycling. Weight loss goes down, then right back up, then down again. And over time, the cycle becomes harder on the body. I worked with another woman who had tried nearly every single popular diet you could think of. She had lost weight a few times, but every single time the weight eventually came back. Not because she lacked discipline, but because each diet was just temporary. So instead of starting another strict plan, we focused on creating sustainable structure she could actually follow long term. Consistent meals, balanced nutrition, realistic habits. And for the first time, her results actually lasted, because success wasn't coming from another diet. It was coming from a lifestyle change she could actually maintain. Now, the fourth myth is the one that makes many women think something is wrong with their metabolism. Myth number 4, your metabolism is just broken. If you spend any time on the internet looking for weight loss advice, you've probably heard someone say, your metabolism is broken. But metabolism isn't something that suddenly stops working. What usually happens is way simpler. Years of inconsistent dieting, stress, poor sleep, and muscle loss slows down the body's metabolic efficiency. But the encouraging news is this: metabolism is adaptable. When you support the body with consistent habits, it can actually become more efficient again. I had a client in her late 40s who told me she thought her metabolism was completely broken. She tried so many diets and nothing seemed to work anymore. But once we rebuilt her routine, focusing on her nutrition, her balance, her strength training, and recovery, her body started responding again. And the confidence that came from seeing progress again was amazing, because the body is way more resilient than people think. And the final myth may be the most dangerous of all. Myth number 5, you just need more willpower. This is the advice that makes most women blame themselves. If the diet doesn't work, if weight returns, if cravings happen, it must be a willpower problem. But long-term success rarely comes down to motivation alone. It comes down to environment and system. When your environment supports healthy choices, those choices become way easier. When your routines are structured well, consistency becomes natural. The women who maintain results long-term aren't constantly fighting themselves. They've built systems that make healthy behavior way easier. Here's what women over 35 need to hear if you're struggling with weight loss. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. And it's definitely not because your body's broken. It's because you've been following advice that simply doesn't fit your life or your physiology. When women move away from generic advice and towards strategies that support their body, their waistline starts shrinking and everything changes for the better. Energy improves, cravings stabilize, fat loss becomes way more sustainable, and your confidence comes back. Here's your 7-day reset. For the next week, try focusing on simple, sustainable habits instead of another random diet. Prioritize balanced meals. Move consistently. Support your muscle strength. Reduce unnecessary stress. And focus on consistency instead of perfection. If you do that, you will notice less bloating, more stable energy, fewer cravings, and fat loss that actually sticks. And if you want to lose belly fat even faster without guessing or bouncing between diets, you can join my free flat belly challenge in the description below. And if you've been putting in effort, showing up, trying to stay consistent, but you feel like nothing's really changing. I get it. You are not alone. In the next video, I'll show you the daily habits women over 35 use to flatten their stomachs. You can check it out here.